Welcome back, folks, to Let's Replay Stonekeep, and when last we left off, we have returned to the interior of the Palace of Shadows, within the Shadow Realm. We may have explored a lot of this first floor, but there is still more that we need to have a look at. There is this area here, and this area here, as well as these areas that we have seen on the Orb of Afri, and these areas that we can't get to. All of these places can be reached, and now that we have got the orb that we needed to get here, and that we have Farli in our party, we can now go to these areas. We could have gone earlier, but with Farli here, we're that much better prepared to take care of the dangers that will be within. And one thing to note, now that we have this orb, when we die, there will be a cutscene that plays before we get the options to start a new game, load a game, or quit. I'll be showing that off at some point, and hopefully not because we die to one of the enemies on this floor. There is a very dangerous enemy that we haven't yet encountered, but that is for the future. For now, we're going to go this way, in the direction that we have the yin and yang symbol, and we're going to go through this door. We want to go to the area where I said before that we weren't strong enough to enter. Also these, you can actually destroy these, something I didn't know. I thought that you had to collect all of the items to prevent those skeletons from reforming. Turns out you can just destroy the main part of the body after you've defeated them. You learn something new every day. Let's go through here, shall we? And you thought those couldn't get any more sinister and creepy? They get more sinister and creepy. We are now here, and we want to get to here, for a very important reason, and that is because we want to enter into this area. That area we couldn't get into before because we didn't have the power from that orb to be strong enough to get through the barrier. We could have tried, nothing would have happened. But now that we can, we're going to do so. We have to go through here first. There are no enemies here because we've cleared this area out. That is important, because we didn't want to get attacked here. Forwards we go. And forwards again.
Trespassers! Trespassers! Prepare to meet your doom! I am the Scourge of Life, the Scourge of Light, and the Scourge of Hope. I am Scourge.
I'm as happy to hear that as you are, Drake, for that is Scourge. And Scourge is a very, very difficult foe. A foe that we actually cannot defeat yet. We may have loads of powerful weaponry, and some great armor, and even powerful magic. None of that is going to work yet. But let's go in just one step. And there's combat happening. That is not meant to happen. There we go.
Greetings again.
What do you want, Goblin?
Bah, about time we spoke again.
Then appear and we can do so. What are you doing?
It is time for us to join forces, Drake. As you may guess, it was I who saved you that dark day so long ago.
You? Why?
Bah, don't be such a fool. We can profit together.
And since neither of us trust the other, we can venture without trouble. I don't think so.
I don't say this is an easy thing to do, but I have no reason to harm you. I helped you long ago.
Maybe.
And I help now. Khull-Khuum must be stopped. I know this.
But why you...
There are riches ahead. I can smell them.
I'm sure you can. Very well. Join us.
Oh, I already have. I already have.
And now we have Warhookah the Great, or if you prefer, the Great Warhookah, in our party. What's actually meant to happen is that you step forward through the barrier, and then Warhookah joins you. But because Scourge was rather close, that cutscene triggered instead, and then we started fighting Scourge, and only by stepping back did Warhookah then join us. If you're really unfortunate with the positioning of people and where you go, you can completely avoid getting Warhookah into your party. You really want Warhookah in your party, as Warhookah is a really accomplished spellcaster, as you can imagine. Let us read about Warhookah. Warhookah looks crafty. He seems to be mighty, very nimble, and very robust. His skill with magic is excellent, and he is a master in wisdom and lore. But you're not ranked in Tea Party, are you? Tea Party would certainly help us right now. He does not have any equipment. We can't equip him with anything. All he has is a veritable arsenal of magical spells. We can go into here. We could also go into this side of here as well, if we were on the other side. We're not going to do either right now. Instead, we're going to leave. We do not want to fight Scourge just yet. Scourge is a foe, as I said, that we cannot yet defeat. We do not have the equipment required to do so. We need a very particular weapon. What weapon that is depends entirely on your preference of weaponry. I'll explain when we get a little closer to getting it. We are now over here. We want to get over to here because there was something that I missed before intentionally. I missed it because we really wanted Warhookah here before we went to that area. As you can imagine, there is something there. There is an area that the Orb of Afri will reveal, and we're going to show off just how dangerous the area we're going to go to is. Do you see all of those dots there? We're going to be entering into there. I can see 5 enemies, and they're probably the floating skulls. There is an illusionary wall right there. I didn't go in before because even with Sparkle, we'd have had some serious trouble dealing with them. This side is a lot easier to deal with than the other side. We can actually attack through this if we want to, and we may even hit some of the enemies, but we're just going to step through and get one of them to come through after us. They will come through one at a time, and with Warhookah's ability to make lots and lots of fireballs happen, it's not too difficult to take care of them. And with Farli armed with a hammer, we're that much better prepared for these foes. Warhookah has a lot of health. It's mainly to compensate for the fact that he doesn't have a lot of armor. And 2 of them came through this time. That's handy. You can have a situation where all of them go through. You don't want that to happen. We have lost a little bit of strength, that's fine. There are still a couple of these in there. We want to be careful because even though Warhookah is extremely accomplished as a spellcaster, those fireballs will hurt us. They work just like all the other fireballs that we've used throughout the game, and they do have splash damage. Any more? There are 3 more! You thought there were only 5? Oh, there are far more than 5 of them. There are loads of them. Fortunately, we're doing quite well at taking care of them. On the other side, there will be some shadowy skulls, and they are far harder to deal with. You do, however, want to go this way first. If you don't go this way, you'll have to come back here eventually. Alright, let's just clear this area out. There is nothing here, apart from a large area where you could try and duke around the flying skulls. You don't want to do that, though. There is a mirror. We're going to be going through this mirror, because this mirror will lead to the other side. We do want to go through to that other side. But first, we want to go, I think, to here, and step through. And look at something that we can grab. This.
There is a mighty weapon in the making.
Bah, it is worthless without its mate, that is. Do you want to trade it?
An ancient relic. Use caution.
It is indeed a very ancient relic. Let's have a look at the various items that we've accumulated, starting with a piece of shadow itself. There's Marif's orb, a piece of a dark mirrored glass. That is a very important item. We've also found a mystic symbol, smelly throggish brew, another mystic symbol, and a silver rune staff, as well as ancient magical armor here, and a very sturdy key. It is exceptionally sturdy. We want to now go through to the other side. There is one problem with going through to the other side, as you can imagine, and that is that we need to be ready for going through to the other side. We need to have a lot of magic prepared, because there are going to be a lot of shadowy flying skulls, and they are very dangerous, especially with that many of them. Let's go. Very quickly we need to move. We need to move because there are going to be a lot of them. As you can see, we are attacking them constantly. We want them all to sort of group together, or at the very least to just keep moving so that we only attack one at a time. And at thee with fire! That should probably help. That one is now gone, but there are more of them, and it's very difficult to see them. We also need to be very careful as to where we fire all this fire, because if we attack while one of them is too close, we will take the brunt of that damage. We're relying on Enigma and Warhookah here to show us where the foes are. There are a lot of them. I don't believe that we've taken care of all of them. Or maybe we have somehow. Maybe we have. I'm still very wary. Nope, there's one! Aha! Fire! That should certainly help. And yep, that one is gone. Is there another foe? There is another foe. We need to watch out for, we have gained some strength here. It doesn't seem quite right. We really shouldn't be gaining strength. Or maybe there's something that we haven't seen. Maybe there's magic afoot here. But I think we've finally taken care of all of the foes. Let's explore around, and remember that because we saw an illusionary wall on one side, there'll be an illusionary wall on the other side too. Let us have a look at that wall. It's not here, it's here.
I wonder what will happen when we bring both pieces together.
Proceed with care.
Bah, put it together. It must be very magical.
I agree with the elf. But I am myself curious.
This is something we need to do to complete the game. We need to combine this part of Shadow itself with this. And what will happen when we do this? What will happen is that we will get access to the best melee weapon in the game, and the best weapon in the game. Unfortunately, if you have specialised in bows, now is the time that you'd have to switch to a different weapon. And I imagine you've already got a different weapon in mind. It also won't turn into a shield. What will happen is this will start taking the form of various weapon types, and when you grab it in a desired form that you want, it will be that form forever. It switches between many different modes. It starts off, for instance, as nothing. Then it becomes an axe, and then nothing. Then it becomes what we want, which is a very long sword. And then it's a spear. Very handy if you're using polearm. There is also a hammer version, which is very useful if you're using hammer. And then there is a dagger version. There is no one-handed sword, though. Let us wait until it becomes the sword again, and then we will grab that. We need this blade. We're going to equip this blade right now, because this blade is indeed the most powerful weapon in the game.
I'll need both hands to wield that weapon.
Yes, indeed, you will. Let us put this back. It has a fair amount of magic left in it. We're going to put it in this hand here, and now we don't need to be here anymore. We can go back the way we came, or we can continue to explore around here. We really want to go back the way we came, though, because that side has the enemies that we can actually see. Let's go. Excellent, let's have a look at our strength. Our strength is back to normal. That's important. We don't want our strength to get too high, after all. And the way to get through here should be around here. Excellent, we are now back here. And what we want to do is we want to make our way back over to here, for there is something here that we can do, and we really want to go and do that. And so now, armed with the best weapon in the game, we can move forward. This is the reason why I've been using sword a lot, because I knew that I would be picking up the shadow weapon that is a sword. It is described here as this sword is made from shadow itself. It is a very, very powerful weapon. How powerful? We can see. If we look at it, it has 68% accuracy and 98 cut damage. We want to get that accuracy up. We can only get that accuracy up by fighting foes. And there are a few foes that we haven't fought yet. Namely in here, 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 and here. We won't be able to use the Shadow Sword to fight all the foes we encounter. At least I don't think we can, because the shadowy foes may not be affected by the Shadow Weapon. That said, it does make sense that they would be. There'll only be one way to find out, and check if my memory is deceiving me, and that is to go and fight those foes. But first, we need to go into each of those areas and do something. Those small areas in the various corners that we haven't been able to access. We can access them through this, which involves going back here. It's a long walk, but it will be worth it, if only so that we can fight those foes and show off just how— oh, hello! We can fight you, for instance! This weapon is not— oh, it is hitting. It's hitting quite a lot. And as you can see, that foe is just gone. This weapon is deadly. That is how devastatingly powerful the Shadow Weapon is. Did we gain any more accuracy? The answer is, it's already at 84% accuracy. That is how deadly that weapon is. We want to use a few more of these, just to get our health that little bit higher. It's currently at, there we go, 85. Should be more than sufficient. Now that we don't have Sparkle, we can't rely on all of that healing, which is a shame. It was very useful healing. Now you may be wondering, what is so special about this area? We can't get into the middle. We actually can. It involves using these illusionary walls. There are a lot of illusionary walls here. Each one of them gets us to a particular side and allows us to access this corridor. We want to access that corridor. Why? Because that corridor allows us to teleport. But where to? One of those areas in the corner. Let us save before we do that, for there is one downside to a very small area. And that is that we can't have Warhookah use lots of magic there. Fortunately, this weapon is absolutely amazing. Did I say this weapon was amazing? It's amazing. There is a thing here. We can use it, and it fully restores the health of Farli and Drake. But only Farli and Drake. Nobody else gets healed by that. Let us now go here, and head back to the area we were in before, and instead go the other way, so that we can fight the other skeleton. Then, we're going to go and fight the skeletons on the other side, and then finally, we will go and defeat Scourge. Scourge does need to be bested for us to win the game, and we can only do that with the Shadow Weapon. It's a good thing we picked the sword. The sword is exceptionally deadly. And how effective are we with it now? Still 84%. I think that's still one of the highest percentages for attack that we've ever had. Alright, we want to go over here and see where we're going. That way. We did take the long way, but that is okay. Let us go in here, and then past you. Excellent. We did need to defeat those foes. It was a long time since we left those foes behind. We want to turn this around so that it is facing the other way, and we'll do that by walking forward. And then we will go this way around, and go through this corridor, like so. And there is a skeleton. Hello! We just punched you as a greeting! And soon you are going to be dead. Marvelous. Anything in here at all? There might be something. There's something to read.
I can't read it.
Ooh. Can we actually use the translate rune to be able to read this? Does the translate rune have a purpose? Only one way to find out, and that's to give it a go. Okay, we don't have it there. We have the shrink rune there. We definitely want to have the comprehend languages ready to go. Will this work? Does this rune actually have a purpose? Let's find out. Let's give us a read.
Where the reflection does not reflect, bind the shadow by destroying the magic.
That is a very handy clue. We're going to have to remember that. But for now, we're going to leave here. This fortunately brings us right to here. And we want to go to this side so that we can go and clear these ones out. And when we come back, folks, we will finish off most, if not all, of this floor of the Palace of Shadows. It is a very, very long floor, but it is worth it to get everything that's here, because if you don't, you will be leaving behind valuable experience in one of the last areas that you can gain lots of valuable experience. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. But wait, who played the voice of Scourge? And who's been the whispering voices that we've been hearing when we've been going through the mirrors? The whispering voices and Scourge have all been played by 3 voice actors, 2 of which we've heard before, and those are Michael McConaughey and Melody Spevak. The 3rd voice actor, who plays both Scourge and the whispering voices, is Jeff Winkles. Jeff Winkles played Quetzalcoatl in Star Trek The 25th Anniversary, also made by Interplay. He was also Muska in the English dub of Castle in the Sky, and Lee in Vampire Hunter D, among many other roles. And so, when we come back, folks, we will continue to explore down this corridor. We need to use this weapon that we have to great effect, and defeat a foe that we certainly need to defeat. A boss by any other name. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.